Yes, this is Bill Jones with recapturefederalism.com with another show, another episode. Bill Jones from Freedom's Nest. Chapter 15, subject title Democratic Slave Party. It's now the good old days. Before I get going, I have to do my oath here. I, William R. Jones, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, so help me God. Let us begin. Yeah, that's what I said. That's the title. Now you're going to have me, they're going to be telling everybody I'm going to be bashing little children and what have you. Well, the people bashing little children are representatives of the United States government. The United States government is the people, and these representatives, they're the ones that are abusing the children of the world. They're abusing. Before I go any further, I want to make a statement in relationship to, if I can find it, the Illinois Constitution. And I've been meaning to do this, put this in there, and maybe I should be, along with the oath, should be specifying this because I know I'm going to be attacked sooner or later. Illinois Constitution, which I ratified in 1970, personally voted for the approval. Bill of Rights, and the Bill of Rights, of course, is a basic human rights. It's specified. It varies from state to state, the specifications and the language, but they're the same all over. Bill of Rights is the Bill of Rights, and the basic human rights, the basic American human rights. And I want to talk about, because I bring up things, and I always source everything, and there's a reason for it, and it goes down to the Illinois State Constitution, Bill of Rights, Section 4, freedom of speech. In Illinois, there is no freedom of press, believe it or not. It's not specified. It's all inclusive in the freedom of speech, Section 4. All persons may speak, write, and publish freely, being responsible for the abuse of that liberty. In trials for libel, both civil and criminal, the truth, when published with good motives and for justifiable ends, shall be sufficient defense. The truth is a sufficient defense. We hear that all the time. They specified it in the Illinois Constitution. You're responsible for the abuse of that liberty. Boy, they should be taking the politicians to court because they don't source much and they lie about a lot of things. But anyway, that's why I want to do it, and that's why I wanted to say that. So when I say these things, I'm basing everything on, I believe it to be true, based on sources. And back to the subject at hand. Central American migrant children. First of all, I have migrant there because the Democrats say, well, they're not illegal aliens. Where did they get that from anyway? They're not illegal aliens. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to source the Communist Manifesto. That's correct. So they lie and say they're migrant children. They are not migrant children. They're illegal aliens. Well, at least that's what free men say in America. See, if you're a communist, a pro-communist, or a communist sympathizer, you believe that they are migrant children, and you base your basis and your authority comes from the communist prophets Engels and Marx. And what is the source, Bill? Well, I'm going to tell you what the source is. Page 52. That's right. Page 52. It's there in black and white. Question 22. What will be the attitude of communism to existing nationalities? Attitude to communism to existing nationalities. That's people of other countries. And you see, communists only view one thing: world communism, world totalitarianism. That's what they view. And there are no borders. That's why there's an open border to the south, to allow whoever they want in to come in, invite them in, do their thing, and they could care less about the free citizen class of people and how they may be hurt, how the country may be hurt. They have their goal. A goal is world communism. World communism. And by the way you do that, if you adhere to the Communist Manifesto and other communist documents, the communist ideology, American communist theocracy, if you have adhering to that, that's treason. I've talked about that in the past, going to continue to talk about it. So you have these that question, and what's the answer they have here? And I'm going to give it to you right now. This is a quote in one paragraph. The nationalities of the peoples associating themselves in accordance with the principle of community would be compelled to mingle with each other as a result of this association and thereby dissolve themselves, just as the various estates and class distinctions must disappear through the abolishment of their basis, private property. Again, we go back to this, the abolishment of private property. That's their primary aim, one of them, one of the major ones. And the abolishment apparently goes to national borders and national sovereignty of other countries. They did the same things with the tribal nations of the United States. You notice I don't say American natives or Native Americans, because they weren't Native Americans. They were tribal nations, sovereign, independent tribal nations. In fact, the Supreme Court still views them as that. And of course, they were put in concentration camps and called reservations. The same thing is happening here with these children from Central America. There's no national borders. There's no border between Mexico and the United States. All sorts of people come in, and goes to immigration, but I'll do a separate thing on immigration, separate presentation. The children coming out of Central America, there are no borders. They make arrangements for this. It's a communist revolutionary movement. It's all part of that movement, what you see. So when you see the Democrats, and Nancy Pelosi, I know she was one of them, there's other ones talking about it. Oh yeah, oh yeah, there's no boundaries. There's no boundaries. They all belong. Those children have just as much right here. That's what the communists say. And they are communist. They adhere to the Communist Manifesto, and this is the basis for it. By the way, on the people going out, I noticed they're increasing, article that was increasing the fines for people immigrating. There's immigration, that's inbound. Immigrating is outbound. They've increased it. That's part of the same thing, by the way. I'll do a separate one on that, because that's also that's part of this national borders and what have you. World communism, no recognition of borders. Communism is supreme religion, supreme political organization, supreme, and they enslave peoples. And they're enslaving these little children, taking them from their parents. Oh, but don't worry, we got Hillary Clinton. She wrote that book, you know. It takes a village. It takes a communist village, that's right. We'll take them little babies, little kids out of Central America and bring them up here, and the communist village here in America will take care of them. And who's going to pay for it? It ain't going to be the communists. Communists don't pay for anything. They steal the money from other people and utilize that. They take their private property and do that. They take their private property for subsistence of these children who shouldn't be here. They should be with their parents in Central America. Yeah, that's how evil the Democratic Party is. Satanic political ideology is driving this, and that satanic political ideology is communism. It's all here in black and white. It's all here in black and white. What will the attitude of communism what will be the attitude of communism to existing nationalities? And I'll continue on. This whole manifesto and all the communists, there's just so much stuff there. Everything that's happening is directly related to black and white. What they're doing, how they're doing it, when they're doing it. It's all there. It's a transition. It's a liberation. These children are being liberated by being taken from their parents. Does that make sense? Do you liberate children by taking them away from their parents? How moral is that? Honor thy mother and thy father. And how are the kids doing that? They're being taken away from their parents. Oh, how cruel, how evil, how satanic is communism. You know, I was thinking about the good old days. You know, back before 1860. Oh yeah, we had a slave party back there known as the Democrats. Yeah, they had a thing going, the economic system down there in the South. There used to be ships come out of England and the Dutch ships come out of Europe and the other ships too. They'd have supplies going down to Africa, and they'd unload down in Africa and get them a bunch of slaves, stick them on the ships, and take them over to America. Yeah, that was the cargo then. Then they'd unload them in America and then take merchandise back, crops back to Europe. That was a golden triangle back then. It was a money maker. And I was thinking about these children, you know, Central America, down there in them corrupt countries down there. They're almost as corrupt as the United States with the two political parties, but the people down there, the things are so bad, they'd pay somebody to take their kids up to the United States because it's so good up here. They've been promised so much by the Democrats. And of course, some coyotes, some human traffickers, working with the Democrats, you know, bring them people up here so they can get some votes out of the deal. They ain't going to have to pay for anything. No, they're stealing money from other people, and whatever subsistence, that's a communist word, they give to them little kids coming up. Yeah, it's just like the slavery back in the day. The good old days, the Golden Triangle. They revived the Golden Triangle. Slavery's against the Constitution, 13th Amendment. I think. Thereabouts. Oh yeah. Human trafficking. We got the Democratic Party. Just one of the criminal enterprises. They meet up with that definition of a criminal enterprise. Keep in power, they got Hollywood celebs and sports celebs and Oprah. Oh yeah, they're paying that party. They're funding the criminal party. They're funding the slavery. Some of them are black people. I don't understand why Negroes would fund a criminal enterprise to support slavery. And that's what this is with them kids coming across and other people coming across, open border. Yeah, communists don't have any national lines. Communism is world nationalism. Yeah. And we can make some money on the side and get some power and keep in power. Thank you, Hollywood. Thank you kindly.